Cadillac confirmed 2026 driver team with massive signing that changes everything instantly. Let's be real. Nobody had Cadillac on their 2026 F1 bingo card a couple years ago, yet here we are. The American powerhouse, known more for muscle cars than motorsport, is not only joining the grid, but they've also gone and pulled two massive names out of the F1 rumor mill and thrown them right into their debut lineup. That's right. Cadillac has landed both Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, two veterans with point-scoring resumes, fan favorite status, and a combined 16 race wins between them. Now, this wasn't just a flashy announcement for clicks. There's actually some smart strategy behind Cadillac's move. Let's start with Bottas. The guy's been in the game for over a decade, collected wins in the hybrid era alongside Hamilton, and knows what it's like to develop a car from scratch, something he had to do all over again when he moved to Alfa Romeo. That experience? Gold dust for a team like Cadillac, who are starting from square one with zero historical F1 data, no previous car to iterate on, and an engine project still a few years from being ready. At 35, Bottas isn't here to prove he's the next Verstappen. He's here to be the foundation, someone who can tell the engineers if the problem is the chassis or the downforce, someone who's felt the difference between a pole-worthy car and one that just looks fast on paper. And in a rookie team's first season, that kind of clear, no-nonsense feedback could be the difference between steady progress and total chaos. But it's not just about development. Cadillac knows that entering F1 with a car that's not terrible isn't enough. They need to actually score points to turn heads, build credibility, attract sponsors, and justify the mountain of money GM is throwing at this, and that's where Perez comes in. Sergio Perez might have had a rocky exit from Red Bull, but let's not get it twisted. This is the same guy who pulled off that miracle win as Sakir in 2020 from the back of the grid. The same guy who dragged underperforming cars into podiums more times than Red Bull would like to admit. And more importantly, the same guy who's had a year away from racing, meaning he's coming in hungry, rested, and with something to prove. Sure, his last season at Red Bull was a mess, but with hindsight, that mess is starting to look a lot more like a Red Bull problem than a Checo problem. His replacements haven't delivered. Verstappen hasn't looked bulletproof, and suddenly the narrative's shifting. Maybe Checo wasn't slowing down. Maybe he was just stuck in a team that was falling apart around him. Behind the scenes, Cadillac's move to sign Perez wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing either. His team has reportedly been in quiet talks with Cadillac for months, keeping options open while other doors closed. And when you step back and look at it, Perez and Bottas make the perfect two heads, one mission combo. Bottas brings the calm, technical consistency. Perez brings the chaos factor, the guy who might randomly drag the car to P5 when everyone expects P12. What this does, more than anything, is give Cadillac breathing room. If the car's slow, they'll know it's not the driver's. If there's a surprise result, it won't feel like a total fluke. And that's exactly what you want in year one, stability with a splash of unpredictability. This isn't just a lineup, it's a signal. Cadillac's not here for a photo op, they're here to race. Valtteri Bottas didn't just stumble into this opportunity, he's been planting seeds for a comeback since the day he slipped out of a full-time seat. Social media posts of him chilling next to a Cadillac, cryptic captions like, "Do we like this seat?" He knew exactly what he was doing, and the timing couldn't have been better. With Mercedes keeping him in their orbit as a reserve, he stayed sharp behind the scenes, testing, teamwork, mentoring rookies like Kimi Antonelli. It wasn't glamorous, but it kept him in the loop. And now, he's cashing in. What Cadillac needed wasn't hype, it was someone who understood how to build systems that work. Bottas knows what good feels like. He's worked under Toto Wolff, played second fiddle to Hamilton during the height of Mercedes' dominance, and stayed professional through it all. When you've got a guy like that helping you launch your first F1 car, it's not just about lap times, it's about creating a structure where the whole team grows faster. But make no mistake, Bottas isn't just showing up to babysit a startup project, he wants to race. The testing program Cadillac's planning later next year, using an older Ferrari chassis, is his entry point. It gives him track time, a jump on the team dynamics, and a head start before official preseason testing begins. It's the perfect dry run. And it wouldn't be shocking if he's already had some input on the sim development or even the car concept itself. Behind the scenes, Mercedes has been supportive. Toto's never been one to block moves like this, especially for someone who's earned his stripes. And with Mercedes not needing a reserve for the final chunk of the season, Bottas has a clean exit path. There's no drama, just a smooth handoff from one chapter to the next. On the other side of the garage, Sergio Perez's story is more turbulent. When Red Bull let him go, it looked like a slow fade into retirement. The media pounced. Headlines labeled him washed, inconsistent, past his prime. But he stayed quiet, took the hits, and waited. That silence paid off. During his year off, the narrative started shifting. Red Bull's shiny new driver lineup, Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda, didn't exactly light the world on fire. Verstappen, for all his talent, wasn't winning everything anymore. The car became twitchy, upgrades backfired. Suddenly, those "Checo was the problem" takes didn't hit as hard. People started to remember the driver who used to punch above his weight. Cadillac did, and they knew exactly what they were getting: a scrapper. A veteran who might not qualify top 5 every weekend, but who can keep the car clean, make smart tire calls, and capitalize when chaos strikes. He's also a huge draw commercially, especially with the Mexican Grand Prix, now more important than ever to F1's growing North American presence. There's also the mindset. Checo's not walking in with expectations of dominating the field. He's here to rebuild, to be part of something new. And he's paired with someone who won't try to play politics inside the team. Bottas and Perez both know how ugly things can get when egos clash. Their mutual respect might end up being Cadillac's secret weapon. This isn't a lineup that's going to win the constructors in year one, but it is a lineup that can help Cadillac punch above their weight and make every single point feel like a victory. The excitement around Cadillac isn't just about the drivers, it's about the statement they're making. Entering F1 as a brand new team is brutal. The grid doesn't wait for you to figure things out. Every race weekend is a test, and every lap counts. But with Bottas and Perez in the cockpit, Cadillac has instantly leveled the playing field. They have credibility, experience, and the kind of feedback loop that turns rookie mistakes into learning opportunities instead of disasters. Testing will be the first real glimpse of what this duo can do together. Cadillac plans to use older cars from established teams for track prep, letting Bottas and Perez get comfortable with the team structure, engineers, and systems without the pressure of competing immediately. Bottas's technical insights, coupled with Perez's racing instincts, are already shaping car development. Engineers now have two perspectives: one methodical, precise, and rooted in Mercedes-level discipline, and another opportunistic, instinctive, and results-driven. That balance could define Cadillac's debut season. For fans, the intrigue is palpable. Bottas and Perez aren't just filling seats, they're carrying histories. Bottas has the consistency and calm to give the car a solid baseline, while Perez has the flair to turn unexpected situations into podium. It's a yin and yang approach, one to build, one to capitalize. Together, they'll push each other, and that internal competition might be exactly what a new team needs to grow fast. The commercial side can't be ignored either. Cadillac entering F1 with these names instantly elevates brand perception. Sponsors, media, and fans are paying attention. Social media reactions are already buzzing, highlighting the nostalgia of Bottas's wins and Perez's dramatic overtakes. Cadillac isn't just building a car, they're building a narrative, a brand story that resonates globally. Every press release, every test lap, and every official announcement adds layers to that narrative. What's remarkable is how both drivers complement Cadillac's strategy without overshadowing it. Bottas ensures that development is smooth and data-driven, making sure every simulation, every setup change, and every track test is as precise as possible. Perez brings unpredictability and adaptability, the kind of skill that turns mediocre weekends into surprise point hauls. For a debuting constructor, having this mix is gold. It's like having a safety net while dangling the possibility of a breakout moment every weekend. The broader F1 community is watching closely too. Established teams are curious and slightly wary. New competitors aren't supposed to arrive ready-made with podium-capable talent. But Cadillac is doing exactly that, signaling they intend to be competitive, not just content to finish races. The grid knows that when the season starts, the new team won't be an easy target. They'll be a challenge. By the time the first official preseason test rolls around, the real picture will start forming. Will Cadillac's engineering translate Bottas's feedback into a car that can challenge midfield rivals? Will Perez find the sweet spot between aggression and consistency to grab unexpected points? The answers to these questions will define the first chapter of Cadillac in F1. One thing is clear, this isn't a gimmick. This isn't a publicity stunt. Cadillac is investing in credibility, proven talent, and a careful strategy to avoid rookie pitfalls. With Bottas and Perez leading the charge, fans can expect moments of brilliance, clever racecraft, and a team that takes its debut seriously. If the car can keep up, Cadillac's first season could surprise everyone, proving that even newcomers can shake up the grid when preparation, talent, and timing align perfectly. The countdown to 2026 is officially on.